Now, there are different angles to whole episode which we are discussing now. There is a moral angle, there is a political angle, there is a legal angle. Now, Maran may be owing a responsibility to explain if the question is put to him, because he is enjoying public trust, he is holding an important office in the government of India. But then, only because CPIM is not in good terms with the UPA, or B.J.P is in hostility with UPA, therefore pull up the Prime Minister, pull up the other minister. You see, that is not fair. Let us
but the same argument could have been made. The same argument, sorry, Mr. Majid Memon, the same argument could have been made for Raja. No, for Raja also, what was the difference in the argument?
Give me one, but then Raja, why are you condemning Raja? Has he been held guilty? Only because he is resting in Tihar prison with certain accusations.
But he was dropped from the cabinet.
He was dropped from the cabinet. Robber. You can't say, Arnav, it's a very sad part of it. You see, those who are arrested have yet to be proved whether they have committed the offence or not, and they are trying to place the card before the horse.
Mr. Memon, I think you misunderstood. Mr. Memon, I think you misunderstood. The question today is on not just technicality. The question is one on this bizarre coincidence that, these people who invest huge amounts in telecom companies find DMK-run television companies to be the most attractive investment in India. They pay huge amounts in these particular companies.
Precisely.
So there's a question of propriety, sir, not legality, propriety.
Arnav, all right, I am coming to this. Please give me 1 minute, Arnav.
Yes.
See, I have heard all these participants, and everybody is saying that it's a very shocking coincidence, too frequent happening, because everything ultimately turns to DMK, and probably all those sitting there are hostile to DMK.
Think so?
Please let us not take
don't
that
you think
stage.
so?
Please don't take that stage. Mr. Arnav, let me just have 1 minute and I'll tell you that, look here, if there are coincidences, can you entirely rule out the coincidence? No, we'll have to wait and examine the facts about the matter.
I'll be getting responses.
Let the person concerned have an opportunity to explain, and then you will examine it to what extent he is telling truth.
Mr. Prasad, that argument is give the person a time to explain. Yes.
Or no, first we will have to understand the contours of a present debate. Are we debating a political issue of gross impropriety committed by the minister, or we are entering into the nitty-gritty of legalese of an issue? And Mr. Majid Memon is appearing in capacity as a lawyer or in his capacity as a spokesperson or secretary of the NCP. I am also a lawyer, but I am talking as the chief spokesperson and general secretary of the B.J.P. It is a hot political issue impinging upon the integrity of the polity of the country. That's what I am trying to highlight. As far as the legal defense is concerned, surely Mr. Maran is entitled for all his defense. He has not even come to deny that. But this whole nature of argument, I am sorry to say, Mr. Majid Memon is an eminent lawyer, I am not able to understand. This is not a legal argument per se. We in opposition are entitled to raise a case of gross impropriety by a sitting minister in his stint as Union Minister and the Prime Minister maintaining a conspicuous silence. It's an important issue. That's what we are raising. Please, Mr. Maran, answer. Dr. Manmohan Singh, answer. These are important issues when the country's wealth is sought to be plundered.
That's valid point. Because by the same logic, and let me go back to you, Mr. Rangaraj. By the same logic, some will say, if this is a coincidence, just one happy coincidence, it's a very, very happy coincidence if you happen to be, in the DMK. But then Kanimodi will say that I too have a it's just a coincidence that some telecom companies invested some money in some NGO that I am linked to. It's a horrible and terrible and unexpected coincidence that they also happen to invest in Kalengar TV. It's all one big coincidence. Why is the media reading so much into the coincidence, Mr. Rangaraj?
No, of course, the government agencies have to go into all these aspects. But I would like to point out one thing to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Yes.
The old saying, physician, heal thyself. These charges against the Maran brothers were also there in 1999 to 2004 when the DMK was very much part of the NDA. So even then these allegations were made that the Sun TV was using its proximity to the center, and they were also part of the ruling dispensation, and that this was the time when the DMK and others also supported the Sun TV in a massive way, and also the B.J.P. leaders. So the point is that at all times, whether they have been in the ruling party or in the opposition, they have been getting some patronage from the central government. And even more so, right through, Mr. Mursali Maran himself was part of the NDA government. And later, it was much later that Dayanidhi Maran also became a union minister. So the fact is that the B.J.P. cannot absolve itself. And if you say the 2G is the mother of all scams, if that is what is being said,
I will let
then what about the father, Mr. Pramod Mahajan, who laid the foundation for what is the scam today, which was followed later by Arun Shourie? Are you going to hold Atal Bihari
No, there are
Vajpayee's
many
prime
subjects.
ministership responsible
No, there are many
for the
subjects.
massive scam? That's
I will let Mr. Prasad respond. Mr. Prasad, is that true that you allowed similar things to happen in your time? No, you've been given a very factual response.
no,
You
it
need to respond factually, Mr. Prasad.
Yes or no? Now it is very evident that the eminent journalist from Chennai is not only a journalist simpliciter but almost a spokesperson for the Maran family. No problem. Let me take him on a straight away.
I'm certainly not. You have been a
Dayanidhi
spokesman.
Maran needs
You have
to...
been a spokesman from 1999 to 2004. You were a spokesman for them.
Will you now allow me to speak, gentlemen? Please wait for your turn.
So don't make
Mr. Dayanidhi
insinuations.
Maran needs
Thank
to
you.
learn a lot from his late father.
Let's go on points, facts. Let's go on
He
facts.
needs to learn. He needs to learn
Fact
a lot
is that
from his late
DMK was
father.
part of the NDA
I never denied.
1999 to 2004.
No, please.
Can you deny that?
Okay, 1 minute, Mr. Jairaj. Let's not, Mr. Rangaraj, let's not move away from the
Should I
subject.
speak or no?
Yes, let's not move away from the subject. You made a point.
no,
I'm letting Mr. Prasad respond. Yes.
Mr. Maran was the commerce minister in the Vajpayee government. We never deny that. But is it a case that as a commerce minister he took some decision and some foreign company invested in the business of his sons? Mr. Jairaj or whosoever it may be, give one instance of that. That was the nature of property we maintained. And I always say, Mr. Mursali Maran in the WTO negotiation represented India's interest in a very positive way. That's how we remember. There was no personal allegation against him
Okay, we'll now
of impropriety that is like son. Now, number one. Number two, this whole allegation against Pramod Mahajan, now he is dead, and other things is totally bizarre. Here we are taking a case of Raja, 1.76 lakh crore of public money looted, found by the CAG, being examined by the JPC. Now for him to say, therefore these kind of baseless allegations, I am very sorry to say, I have not to comment upon that. Those are being investigated. We have willingly said, examine even from 99. Those are being done. But merely because Mr. Maran is in the dock, therefore this allegation should be made, I would say, is grossly unfair.
Mr. Jairaj, respond.
No, charges were made. Charges were made against Mr. Pramod Mahajan when he was telecom minister, that he held back the proposals of BJP of the BSNL for expansion, and other private companies were allowed to proceed further. This was the charge even made by trade unions, of which even eminent
are you saying that
were there.
Are you saying, Mr. Jairaj, that because
the clock
are you
2
saying
to 3 years?
Bring it up
much later that
Mr.
BSNL
Jairaj
was supposed to play catch up with the private companies.
Mr. Jairaj, bring it down to the present subject. In the present subject we are debating tonight, are you using that argument? Are you using that argument to say that the Dayanidhi Maran needs not explain, or even if something happened, if there was some hanky-panky, it's okay?
It is for the government agencies and CBI to investigate. And it's up to Mr. Maran to explain his stand. It's for the government to proceed. Right. If anyone is guilty, they're bound to be proceeded against. But the fact of the matter is that there were allegations even in the past against other telecom ministers, whether it was Pramod Mahajan or even much later.
Okay. Now, I want to go back to Neeraj.
I deny that charge. I deny that charge.
You've denied the
charge
on
certain companies.
Okay.
Or specifically favoring certain private companies.
You've denied the charge. Now, Neeraj Kishan Kaul, where should this story go? Because there will be political damage if Mr. Dayanidhi Maran does not come out and respond.
Well, Arnab, as far as I said, on this program, we are not determining the culpability, that the investigation will take its own course. But I said this before also, holding a public office of trust, he does owe an explanation, and he must come forward and explain to the nation what his side of the story is. And if he feels that the channel or the magazine has been scurrilous or defamatory, there are remedies available, but he definitely does owe an explanation. And if there's even an iota of truth in these allegations, much larger issues of property and propriety will come up in days to come.
Which are very difficult to avoid. Mr. Mohammad Salim, politically, will the opposition take up this issue? Because the figures are quite staggering, with the same intensity as it took up the case of Mr. Raja.
Definitely, because this is not only a continuation of the same thread, but is a question of how a minister, sitting minister, who was earlier at that time of telecom minister, now is a textile minister, and is not coming out. And the government cannot also remain mum. It's not only a question of probing by the PSC and the commissions and the legal courses, but it's a question of how the people should behave in the high places, how they are going to be beyond doubt, and how in this case, just a coincidence you say or whatever, how they are going to benefit. The benefit is being accrued in the family business in lieu of some decisions they are taking. At the first point of time, they have not taken a decision, delayed it, and later on he has allowed this at a haste. And this is how you have got the political bribes, and losing, the country has lost. Ultimately, it's a more than 20,000 crores of rupees.
Incredibly,
naturally.
It's an extremely serious charge. So, Mr. Majid Memon, last question to you. You disagreed with Ravi Shankar Prasad out there. Coming to you, Mr. Prasad. My question is, in India today, can you have this ostrich-like approach? You know, you dig your head into the sand and pretend that all of this doesn't happen. And then you ask your lawyers to issue, defamatory suits here and there and say this expose should not happen. There are some issues and some facts in the public domain. You cannot have, especially as a political personality, can you afford to have this ostrich-like approach to the present situation? Mr. Memon, that is for you, because you came out in staunch defense.
I'm sorry. I thought.
No, that's for you.
I thought you are addressing Ravi.
No, I'm addressing you because you're Shahid Balwa's lawyer.
No, Arnab, that's a different story. You see, now
that's a relevant part of the story.
Political angle. No, then I must tell you that JPC is on its job. Shivraj committee, one-member committee report has been tabled on 31st January 2011, which covers the allocation of spectrum and issuance of license from 2001 to 2009. Now see, and as rightly pointed out, that if you go back during NDA era, you will find Arun Shori's role or Pramod Mahajan's role or the predecessors in the office of the
So 1 minute, Mr. Majid Memon, you're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting yourself, Mr. Memon. You're totally contradicting yourself. Because you began by saying, we should argue legally, we should not look at it politically. When I'm asking you legally, you are answering politically.
I'm not, you see, I was asked when I gave my opinion on legal, I was criticized by Mr. Prasad saying that he is acting as a lawyer, we are not here to discuss legal aspect. So I come back on his field and answer to him. Now, if you are asking me legally, I'll answer you legally. Please put your question legally. What do you want me to answer?
No, my question was already put to you legally because you mentioned the Shivraj Patil report. If you read the contents of the Shivraj Patil report, they're extremely damaging, sir. Some parts of it are more damaging than what the PAC says about the 2G scam.
See, legally, PAC has done its exercise, collected evidence, what happened to it, etc. As a matter of history, forget it. JPC is on its job. All the witnesses statements have been recorded during criminal investigation.
Last response from Mr. Prasad.
The truth is to come out legally.
Last response from Mr. Prasad.
No, my response is very simple. If Mr. Dayanidhi Maran does not respond to these questions, then his silence would not only be conspicuous, but too eloquent, and would only reinforce the apprehension there is something seriously wrong and a lot of rot is there. But what troubles me are no more in a huge country like India, that whether the Commonwealth or 2G or the present one or others cooperative, repeated impressions are going that government decisions are up for sale for a price. I'm sorry to say that I'm also a great supporter of reform, business investment. But if this kind of image is going repeatedly, Mr. Prime Minister, it is not good for India.
Okay, Ravi Shankar Prasad, thank you very much. We'll see where the story goes, and I want to place on record once again for all our viewers, we have repeatedly asked Mr. Maran for his point of view. We have sent specific questions for Mr. Maran, and in case you're watching the show tonight, Mr. Maran, I would like to once again invite you to give your point of view on the various questions which have been put up by all the political parties and also the questions that emerge out of the piece in the Tehelka. It's only appropriate that we get an opportunity to ask the questions.